Knitting Game and Other Stuff. I'm Leslie, your host, and this is episode 24 for July 18th, 2012. I'm a little late recording. As you know, I was trying to record on Sundays, and that is just not working out through busy weekend schedules because that's the only time I have to do things. For some reason, Wednesday afternoons and evenings just seem like they work out the best. So here we are again on Wednesday. So welcome to those of you who are returning viewers. And hello there to folks that are joining me for the first time. I hope you enjoy. Please go ahead and visit our Ravelry board. We do have one. And as a matter of fact, I would like to thank our two newest members for joining our Rav group. And that is Lee Carstel, which is Rachel, and Pania, which is Joanne. So thank you, ladies, for joining our group. We are 88 members, holding steady. Very good. This week we do have some birthdays. First of all, it's Misdemeanor, so that's Marge or Maggie, she says, and Bettina G1. So ladies, happy birthday to you. I guess we're gonna fly right through things. First of all, if you want to see the show notes and get links to project notes, to vendors that I'm using, things like that, I try to link everything in the show notes, and that is W's. I don't do W's. What am I talking about? It's just myordinaryjourney.com, all one word up there. So, in there I have all the show notes and links to everything. I try to, at least. And I have, this week, my vlog of the week, the website that I've chosen to highlight, is Nana's Cookie Jar, and that's by Elin Svensson. And I know it's a cooking site, and full disclosure, it's my mother-in-law. She is getting ready to launch her new entrepreneurial endeavor, which is Nana's Cookie Jar. So for years and years and years, we have enjoyed her baking and her cooking, and we've kind of kept it all to ourselves. And now that she's back in the area, she has decided to take her talent one step further and bring it to the masses. So right now her website is some favorite recipes and pictures of some of her favorite dishes that she's cooked, and just various little tidbits of things here and there. And it's a really neat little site, and I have to say I'm helping out with that a little bit. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys went and checked it out. So she's just getting started, and I know she'd really appreciate all the support. So stay tuned to that one, because you might get a trade secret or two. So that is Nana's Cookie Jar, and it's linked in the show notes, and her name is Elin, E-L-I-N, Elin. All right, so I have a question this week. I kind of skipped it last week, but the question this week is, do you have a set rhythm or a set aside time for your crafting projects? Now, I ask that because I have noticed that I have definitely fallen into a pattern. So here it is. When I am driving home, or the little extra breaks before and after work that I get, waiting in the car or just waiting to leave the office, I knit. That is my knitting time. And then when I come home, that after work, that is my spinning time. So I spin after work. And then on the weekends, it seems like all I want to do is sew. So that is how my crafting work goes. In the car, I knit. When I get home after work, I spin. And on the weekends and my days off, I like to sew. So, therefore, do you guys have any set time that you like to do certain crafts, certain artistic endeavors? So that is it for our intro this week. Now we're going to get into the knitting game. So what you guys are really here for. As you may know, usually I select patterns for you guys to vote on, and I've changed it up this time. I've asked you guys to go ahead and vote on the yarn selection that I'll be using on my next knitting game project that I will start, which you guys voted for last time. So this week is round 3 that we're closing up on, and it's been about a week and a half of voting since I didn't get to record on Sunday. So the contenders for round 3 is the returning champion. This is a Tree Huggers yarn. It is a twinkle sock base, and it is the Neptune colorway. As you can see, we have some blues and some greens and some aquas. And I've gone ahead and linked in the show notes the link to her Etsy shop. Now, she's on vacation right now, so there's nothing available, but I do believe she's got instructions that if there's something that you want, you can go ahead and email her, and she might actually be able to do it special order. So it is a Tree Huggers Wife yarns. It's hand dyed in Juneau, Alaska. So here's the little ticket, the little sleeve. And yes, so this is 438 yards. It's 75% wool, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina. So this is the returning champion from rounds 1 and 2. So that went up against my another crafty girl. This is her, what is it? Oh Shiny Sock. And this is her Lagoon colorway. So very nautically themed. This is a nice, very soft, very squishy, beautiful aqua. And as you can see, I very much do like the aqua color sensibility. I'm very much drawn to it. So it would be a perfect fit for me. So after a week and a half of voting, which one did you guys pick? I'm going to switch it up so you guys can't see. Amazingly, with 61.6% of the vote, after a week and a half, you guys chose, yet again, the returning champion, a Tree Hugger's Wife in the Neptune colorway. So, I will save this beautiful yarn for something else. Thank you. The Tree Hugger's Wife will now move on to the 4th and final round of this knitting game. And the final yarn that I chose to serve as challenger in this is kind of, it's a little different. I didn't have enough of one of the yarns. So in my stash, I happen to have some yarn that my husband purchased in a grab bag for me back over a year ago for our anniversary when I first started to knit. So what it is it's my Summer Orchid hand spun. This is from Wool Gatherings. It's 50-50 wool and silk. So you've got purples and pinks, light pinks, dark pinks, greens, and almost yellows. It has been washed, it has been thwacked, and this is 306 yards. So my plan is to use this as the body for the majority of the shawlette because it takes about 400 yards. So this would be the body, and to make up for the other 100 yards or so, I decided to pair it. This is Louisa Harding. It's Grace hand dyed, and this is also 50-50 merino wool and silk. And this is what I had in my stash. This is what I spun, and I couldn't have matched them better myself. So I think it's a really neat idea to put these two together. So I know it's not one yarn, but I think the combo together would be phenomenal. I think it would be really outstanding. So even if it doesn't win this go around, I think I'm going to keep these together and use it for another shawl or scarf project. So which is it going to be? Are we going to have a clean sweep with the Neptune? Or are we going to change it up and go a little bit floral with my summer orchid? I don't know, you get to choose. Now I'm going to be recording on Wednesdays. So the voting for this go around will close on July 25th at about 3 p.m. So it's about a week from now. Well, it is a week from now. Although I'm recording, it's almost 8 o'clock in the evening, so it's not quite a week, if you're going to get technical. Whatever. So this is the returning champion, challenger. Whoops. I'm just losing everything all over the place. So moving on, I want to give an update on some of my other knitting game projects currently in progress. The sock from the Knit Sock Love knitting game did not touch yet again. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure where I've stuck it. It's been so long since I've worked on it. Sorry. But that's okay, because let me tell you, I have found some real love for this sweater. This is my Sayuri sweater. And I know for weeks I've been talking about neck shaping, neck shaping, neck shaping. I actually got to start the neck shaping and I am ecstatic. So here's how it works. Remember, I keep talking about you've got the sleeve and you knit up from the back and up around. So maybe now I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so here's a sleeve. You knit across the sleeve. Eventually you get to your shoulder. So you've got a couple stitches here on between where the sleeve ends. If you look straight down, here's like where the armpit is, right? So you come over, so you've got a bit on the shoulder, right? Then you bind off the stitches in the middle. So here are the stitches in the middle. And this is what goes across the back of your neck. And then, now this is the left side, so I'll show you over here how this works. Again, you've got your sleeve, right? And your shoulder. So your shoulder goes from where the sleeve ends right about here. Over here, my left hand, I have no idea what that is for you guys. And it comes over to about here. So, and then what you do is after you've bound off these middle stitches, you start to add them back in. And what that does is that creates the V that comes down in the front. So what this part is that you're looking at is actually the back. So how this works is, I'm going to swing this around like it were kind of like a shawl if I don't get this all mixed up. I hope I don't drop any stitches. So it goes, I'm all messed up, like that, right? So what side are all my stitch markers are on? I've got too much hair. Oh, they're on the side. See what I mean? Okay, so this is really convoluted. I'm sorry. Anyway, if you can imagine my neck coming up through the cable in the hole, this comes down in the front. So you work the two sides differently. So as you can see, this is starting to create that V shape. So my demonstration didn't work out, but I hope you guys can get the point, because this is kind of crazy. I don't understand. Maybe because the cable was there. Anyway, so from the last time we talked, you can see this stitch marker here in the middle. I have knit from there all the way up. Now the knitting is going a lot faster because I'm only having to work half of the sweater at a time. So what happens is I finish half of the front, then I put the stitches on like waste yarn so I can hold the stitches. Then I go back and I reattach yarn to the other side, and I just do the same sort of reverse type shaping, and I shape the other side until the V meets in the middle. And then I go back and forth, and eventually I'll bind off the stitches that constitute the sleeves, and then I'll just be left with the middle part. And I think I do a couple of rounds like that flat still, and when the back meets up with the front, which is this red provisional cast on I have here at the bottom, after it's even, I connect it, and then I knit in the round, and I knit in the round until I run out of yarn, I guess. I have to do some edge work, so I'll have to keep some in reserve, but that's how it works. So hopefully you guys get a little bit better understanding of how the sweater is constructed, because it's a little bit different, and I think the difference is what makes it kind of unique and so simple. It gets a little tedious when you're trying to knit all of those stitches for your wingspan for a long sleeve sweater all the way across through your back. And I'm a big girl, so if you're smaller, if you're knitting for a smaller person, it might not be so bad. But I had umpteen, like 230 odd stitches every row, and it took probably about 45 minutes to knit and purl to do a set. So now it's going so much faster. Okay, so that is my update for the knitting game, and again, voting closes on the 25th, so I'm going to move on to the other stuff. I've got a few other things. I sort of have a stash enhancement and an extra knitting project that I did this week. I know everybody's kind of gone really excited about washcloths this summer. I don't remember washcloths being so prominent last year, but that's what the thing is this year. So I was at Joann's over the weekend picking up some extra thread for my serger because I've got some more projects coming up. And I thought I would try some of this cotton yarn. I'd pick up just a little bit of it and do a washcloth. So what I ended up getting is Lesley's Sugar and Cream in the super size. It's a worsted weight, 100% cotton yarn. Here's the colors. It's this kind of nice blue aqua color again, light yellow, white, some green, and I just wanted to try it out. I cast on 40 stitches, and I just garter stitched whatever this is, whether it be, I took it and used it at the gym for kind of like a little hand towel to take around with me when I went to the gym, but I'm planning on using it as an actual washcloth, so that's what I've got. I didn't have any size 7s, which is what the band called for, so I used my Hiya sharps on US size 6s, and I just did it with that, and it took me a day. I knocked this out, yeah, in a day. And then I have like a little coaster that I did. I modified a scarf pattern that I've used in the past, and I did this sort of mitered, squared sort of coaster thing. I don't know, it's just little. So I just wanted to see if I could use that scarf pattern to make something out of. So I can make it bigger and make it like a washcloth, but I was worried I was going to run out of yarn. So that is my knitting and my knitting stash enhancement. So I got on the washcloth train and I did one up. So that was my quick little knitting escapade this week. Spinning. I've been doing a lot of spinning. I've really been enjoying it. I finished what's in a hank right now. I finished my hobbledehoy bats, and I just measured it out tonight. So here it is, and what I did is I had been planning on plying it with my Gale's Art silk and alpaca natural blend, this gray, but when I started to ply it, I didn't like the way it looked. It was reminded me of candy canes, and I think it really took away from the sari effect that I can't stop thinking about Indian saris when I see this fiber. So I probably lost a good, I'd say 5 yards of my single on that little experiment that went very wrong. So what I ended up doing is I ended up Navajo chain plying my single, and this is what I got. It is a bit overspun, as you can see. It definitely tends to twist in the clockwise direction, so that I'm going to have to definitely wash it and thwack it because I have not washed it. It is a 3-ply because I chain plied it. I got 204 yards, and it's 12 wraps per inch. So I think that comes down to about a fingering weight. So a 3-ply fingering weight at 204 yards. So I'm thinking this will probably be a shawl of some sort. And I will use the alpaca. I'll also chain ply it because I tried to spin them at about the same weight. I don't have one of those little gauge cards, so I kind of just feel it and eyeball it. And I use the grooves in my finger to try to, you know, here, because this is where when I feed it onto the bobbin, it crosses over this little groove in my finger, or my index finger. So I use that kind of as a guide as far as the width for thin, and if I want it thicker, I just kind of get it in that groove right there. I know that's kind of crazy, but if it feels right, I know. Anyway, so I think this would be the body of a shawl, and this would be the trim. I think that would be really pretty because this has a lot of visual interest, and I love spinning it. And it was funny, the first batlet and a half that I did, I drafted it out, and then I decided to try something a little bit different. And the last batlet or so, what I ended up doing is I would pull off like a staple length or so, because it's a bat, so there's all different stuff in it. And I did like from the fold, but a controlled from the fold, so it's still a worsted spin rather than a woolen long draw. And it was like butter at that point, man. It was just so easy. It just kept going and going and going. So when I spun this, that's what I did too. So it just worked out so well. So I had fun doing that. We'll see where that takes me. So the spinning project I'm in the middle of now is I am spinning up into the world. It's a Shetland, the English Shetland, and it's the Kimuro, I can't say it, Kimuro colorway. So as you can see, we have some really nice aqua greens, blues, purples, and oranges. And for some reason, and I don't know why, I think of koi when I see this. I'm not sure why, because this looks nothing like koi. But for some reason, I just think of the fish. So what I did is I split the braid vertically in half, and this is half of it. And I tried to spin this like frog hair, gnat butt thin. I mean, I really tried to get this super, super, super thin. So, I was originally going to try to spin this also from the fold, like I did the alpaca and silk, and that wasn't working for me. I ended up going back to doing a modified, kind of like backwards short draw. So I would pull back a little bit and kind of push forward a little bit, and I just kept it really controlled. And what I ended up doing is I didn't really pre-draft so much. I did kind of pull it just a little bit apart, but I didn't draft it out super duper thin. But what I did do is I wrapped it around my wrist. Now usually what I've done in the past is I've kept the fiber in like a plastic shopping bag, and I kept it hanging off my vertical Kate, and I would just pull it from the shopping bag. But for some reason, when I wrapped that around my wrist, like you would do if you were drop spindling, it just worked so much better. I loved it, and I was able to get it so super duper thin. So my next part of the project is deciding whether or not I'm going to fractal spin this and split the second half of the braid vertically 3 times, and spin it in order, or if I'm just going to spin it as is and try to get the colors to match up as close as possible, and do a 2-ply. Regardless of how I do it, it will be a 2-ply. And right now it's going to be a 2-ply lace because this is so, I'm just so ecstatic about this. This is so fun. This was amazing. I had such a, oh, I want to go spin now, and it's 5 after 8. And I have to go to bed in an hour, so I'm hoping I can get some spinning done tonight. So anyway, I'm kind of like crazy right now. My hands are killing me. I went to the gym today. It's been a bad week, and some of you guys may know it's been a bad week. And today is not a normal gym day because I like to come home and record, but I had to go to the gym. And I had my gloves. They're just the little MMA gloves. They're not full boxing gloves. And we have a heavy bag at the gym, and I went and pounded on that sucker as hard and as fast as I could for a half an hour tonight. And unfortunately, my knuckles are going to pay for it. I do have a little bruising, just a little bit, because I was wailing on it. And I was doing my backhands, and I was doing elbows and pushes, and I actually screwed up my ankle because I was doing push kicks, and I mistimed the back swinging back, and yeah, I kind of jammed that ankle. And unfortunately, I have my Fight Like a Girl tomorrow night, so this is going to be interesting. Erin might have a reprieve for me because I tend to hit her pretty hard. And yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that, so my knuckles feel a little swollen tonight. But anyway, I feel better. I actually took a shower too, and I wasn't going to, but I couldn't subject you all to that. Anyway, so the last thing I have on the plate right now is on Saturday. This is an event, one of my others that I do sometimes. On Saturday, July 21st, my family and we are going to be going up to Washington, D.C. to one of the battered women's shelters up there. And we are going to sponsor our group's 4th anniversary. It's our charity group, the TCCOC. I've spoken about this group before. It's the Totally Committed Community Outreach Center. It's our 4th anniversary, so we are going to do a community cookout at the Battered Women's Shelter up in DC. It is the John Young Center, and yeah, we're going to go and do our cookout. And Nana's Cookie Jar is donating and supplying the sweets and dessert treats for the cookout, so that's really great. And along with that, I would like to send a special thank you out to Red Aster Foods. Now, that is a commercial kitchen here in the Fredericksburg area of Virginia, and they have graciously let us use the kitchen at a reduced rate to help supply the food for the community cookout. And what this event is it's for us to celebrate our anniversary as the center, but it's for us to help feed the homeless and underprivileged in the Washington, D.C. area. So I'll have some more to say about that after the cookout on Saturday. I'll have pictures and maybe some video to share next week. So that's it of the normal stuff. So I've got a couple of little updates with the storm damage that we had a couple of weeks ago. The insurance company came out and they did the estimate for all the damage, and it was good that they came out because not only was our window busted here in my workroom, but he did get up on the roof and we did sustain some damage up there. It's not a lot, but it's enough where we're going to have to call some roofers and have them patch up, replace some of the shingles because they're broken, so that can cause water damage because they're not laying right. And the roof is too new. Our roof is only like 8 years old, 10 years old, something like that. So they can't replace the whole roof because the actual shingles, they still bend. They're very pliable, so they just have to replace like 9 of them, right? So I got to get somebody to go up on the roof. We did get the estimates for the windows, so hopefully in the next week and a half, 2 weeks, we will have a real window. Unfortunately, when they came out to do the estimate on the window, they ripped off the duct tape that's holding the plastic sheeting up, and they ripped the paint off my walls. So now the room has to get repainted. Well, I want the room to get repainted. You know, mine only just touch up the part over by the window that's showing the bare white wall. But anyway. And one last thing I wanted to share. Okay, so I told you I went to the gym today, and I wasn't going to, but I did end up taking a shower because I just felt grubby. And if you guys read my shower thoughts at all, you know I'm kind of like a stickler for shampoo. It's taken me every other day, it seems like I'm talking about shampoo and trying to find shampoo and buying shampoo. And it's because my hair is really weird. Sometimes it's straight and sometimes it's curly, but all at the same time. I have fine and coarse hair and thin and thick hair. It's really weird. I've got like every kind of hair type you would think of in one head. And it's dry at the ends, but it gets super oily and greasy at the scalp. So trying to find a shampoo that cures all of that in one shot was just crazy. So I would shampoo and I would condition, and I wouldn't condition, but then I couldn't comb my hair. It was crazy. So I have finally found a shampoo that I just absolutely love. And I wanted to share because I really do love it. It is Suave, so it's not like it's like a salon thing. And it's their keratin infusion. It's new, and it's a low sulfate shampoo. And the kind I get is the smoothing shampoo. And what this stuff does, it's amazing. It's better than any 2-in-1 shampoo I've ever used. When I use this, I do not use conditioner. I haven't conditioned my hair in about a month and a half. And it's amazing stuff. I can go all day. My hair does not look greasy or oily. And it's just the neatest stuff. So I wanted to share because I love it. Alrighty, folks. I guess that's all I have this week, busted hands and all. Hopefully I can still do some spinning this afternoon, evening, in the next 50 minutes while everything is processing. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I do hope you come back again. Please remember to vote. You have a week to do so, and I'm sure if you follow me on Plurk or Twitter, you'll get the reminders because I love to send them out. Please feel free to friend me on Ravelry or on Plurk. I'd love to be able to talk to you guys. So I hope everybody has a great week, and don't forget to vote. Bye.